Hello, my name is Nicole Carswell-Toll. Welcome to the new video series on exercises for the gaited rider. Today, Marley and Scout are going to help me demonstrate these exercises and how to improve your riding through stretching and strength building exercises. Exercises for riders ages 12 through 30. I would like to thank my sponsors, Walk In Style and Clear Springs Ranch. The foot is the foundation of the rider, and a proper foot position is critical to the success of the rider being balanced in a nice long vertical frame on this horse in a draped seat, which is a signature for all gaited riders. Because gaited horses do not trot, there is no need to have such a short stirrup and to worry about an adjustment which accommodates the rising trot or what we call posting. Okay, so the gaited rider will exhibit a longer leg and will have the draped seat long into the heel, heel lower than the toe, nice bend in the knee, seat bones flat or placed nice in the seat of the saddle, and a nice flat lower back. So let's begin with the foot, since the foot is the foundation and how it is placed on the stirrup iron is critical. At this angle that the horse is currently at, you can see Marley has her foot flat on the stirrup iron. That is a flat pressure across the ball of the foot from the big toe all the way across to the pinky toe, okay? Now, as her ankle relaxes, flexing in or out, that is what accommodates getting her foot flat on the iron. Also, we want to talk about the toes. It's very important to have a relaxed toe. Marley, scrunch your toes. Now see how the boot swells up and the foot gets a lot wider and fatter in the boot. Now relax your toe and you'll notice that her ankle drops and her toe flexes up. When she scrunches her toe, let's try that again. Scrunch your toe again, Marley. And when she does, it draws her heel up instead of relax your toe now and letting the heel drop considerably down toward the ground. When riders are first learning to ride, or some that have developed bad habits under saddle, they will have issues in their feet which will discourage them from being able to control their foot on the iron and to be able to control the iron the way they need to. So as this rider flexes her heel down and relaxes her toe, she gets maximum ankle flexion and the heel has a nice drop to it. As I take her foot out of the iron, I'm going to have her do some toe circles. So turn circles with your toes, Marley. There you go. Circles with your toes, and she's going to rotate the heel out and around, and now reverse the rotation, and now it's coming out to in. Okay, this is a great exercise for loosening the ankle and to get the ankle ready to flex the way the rider needs it to for the stirrup iron. The next exercise we want to go to is flexing the bottom of the foot out and then rolling it in. So the anterior and posterior ligaments and tendons in the ankle, inside and out, enable the ankle to flex out or flex in. A lot of people usually have tight tendons and ligaments on one side or the other. Some people will walk more on the outside of their foot, and some will walk more to the inside. Walking on the outside of the foot is more common, and it's much harder to correct when you put that person in the saddle, okay? So what we do is continue to work this exercise, and this particular flexion here is very important for them to be able to hold for a length of time, because when the stirrup iron leaves the horse, it becomes more at an angle, and that angle will correctly fit right on Marley's boot right there. So Marley has fabulous ankles. She has great flexibility. So understand that they make a lot of stirrup pads that kind of compensate for the angle of that stirrup iron, and they prevent a rider from having to flex their ankles correctly. And I want to discourage you from using all of those. If you use a stirrup iron that flexes and allows your heel to drop, those are fine. But you do not want to buy a pair of wedged stirrup pads, because then that makes it so that your foot does not have to take the correct position, okay? What is beautiful about this position is that as her foot pushes away from the horse, it puts her in a home-based position. So she is in neutral position, not asking the horse for anything. This horse can stand quietly and not be under the pressure of thinking that he's being asked to perform, okay? So with having this foot in this position, riders that toe out have a tendency to drop their heel, which automatically applies calf pressure to the horse. And in most cases, if you're wearing a spur or you really have a drop to your heel, you're automatically applying low leg pressure in a situation where we need it to be neutral, okay? So back to regular position, normal, correct, home-based position. That is where Marley is right now. Okay, so now I would like to talk about what this foot position is creating. When this foot is in home-based position, it is not exaggerated and flared. It is not, as we said, dropped into the horse. See, every time I drop her leg into the horse to illustrate to you, it moves him. Okay, so that is that's just a proof to you that where your low leg sits in relation to the horse, when you want to be neutral, this is where it needs to be, okay? A neutral position with the foot flat on the iron and the foot flexed so that it sits nice and level on the stirrup iron with no gaps. So what this foot position allows or makes possible is that her knee is rolled tightly into the saddle. She's got a nice firm thigh grip, nice and flat. Her thigh muscle is flattened against the saddle, and you've got good contact all the way from the seat bone, down the thigh, to the knee contact, and then the main cueing portion of the leg is free. Having the foot placed nice and flat on the stirrup iron creates knee contact and an inner thigh contact on the rider, okay? So her heel being down, her heel being flexed away from the horse slightly, enables the knee to roll in. So when the heel is in, the knee will pop out. So we want to make sure that the heel is out, rolling the knee in, and creating a very strong and close contact through the thigh and the knee. You never want a rider to pinch with their knee. You want them to stretch down into the heel and pull the knee into the saddle, okay? So to create this contact now, whether the rider's foot is in the stirrup or out of the stirrup, that does not really change her position, nor does it change any of her contact points. That makes a rider like Marley able to ride with or without her stirrups. If she were to lose a stirrup for some reason, it doesn't compromise her ride. It doesn't really change her ride. It just enables her to keep her balance, pick up your stirrup when you're ready, puts her foot in there, and good to go. The beauty of these exercises is they put you in a position to train your body to develop the correct reflexes, to have your muscles shaped and working in the right muscle memory, so that when unexpected things happen or just general performance under saddle where you need to bring this horse to his best level of performance, that you are in the best position to do so. And that is the magic of exercises and their application and the reason that we need them when we are riding horses.